Every dam, every bridge, every skyscraper, all held up by one gray powder. Everywhere. It's under your feet right now, above your head, and most people never think about it. It's just gray powder. That's it. That's what holds up the modern world. Making this powder involves heat hotter than lava, rocks crushed like cars, and violent chemistry. Today, we're going inside a real cement factory, step by step, from rock to powder. This is how raw rock becomes the most used construction material in human history. And it all starts, not in a lab, but with explosions. Big ones. This is a limestone quarry. Every one of these terraced walls is raw cement ingredient. Limestone makes up 80% of cement. It's one of the most common rocks on Earth. Before a single blast, geologists check the rock. The chemical composition has to be exact. A drilling rig bores holes straight down into the rock, up to 15 meters deep. Explosive charges are lowered into each hole. Every blast is precisely calculated. Everyone clears the zone. Sirens sound. Then silence. The quarry holds its breath. The ground shakes, and thousands of tons of limestone break loose in one explosion. That dust cloud hides millions of tons of raw material that will one day become cement. After the blast, the quarry floor looks like the moon. Boulders from car-sized to fist-sized. Massive excavators scoop the broken rock into haul trucks bigger than most houses. These trucks carry 300 tons per load. One plant moves 10,000 tons every single day. The loaded trucks roll along specially built roads that need constant maintenance just to survive the weight. Those tires are nearly 4 meters tall. Each one costs as much as a new car. The jaw crusher slams 2 steel plates together, breaking boulders down to fist-sized pieces. A secondary crusher breaks the rock down further, smaller, uniform pieces for the grinding mill. By this conveyor, each piece is golf ball sized, consistent, manageable, ready for transformation. Long conveyor belts carry crushed limestone from the quarry to the grinding mill inside the factory. At transfer points, the material drops belt to belt, like a circulatory system for rock.
Welcome to the raw mill, where limestone stops being rock and starts becoming something different. Limestone isn't the only ingredient. Clay, sand, and iron ore are added in precise amounts. This vertical roller mill is one of the most powerful grinding machines ever built. Inside, steel rollers the size of cars press onto a rotating table and crush the blend to powder. Inside this mill, it looks like a gray blizzard. Without a mask, you wouldn't last 30 seconds. The result is called raw meal, softer than face powder, barely heavier than air. Raw meal is so fine it flows through pipes like a liquid, blown by compressed air. Chemists test every batch for chemical composition. Get it wrong here, the whole batch is ruined. They're checking the exact ratio of calcium, silicon, aluminum, and iron. Precision is everything. Some plants use ball mills, enormous drums packed with steel balls that grind continuously. Approved raw meal goes into blending silos, some 10 stories tall, where it's constantly mixed. Air jets push upward continuously, keeping every particle in the silo perfectly blended before moving on. Now the step that makes cement what it is. This is the rotary kiln.
6 meters wide, 200 meters long, longer than 2 football fields, and it never stops rotating. Tilted slightly downward, it rotates constantly. Raw meal traveling from one end to the other in 30 minutes. Before the kiln, raw meal passes through this preheater tower, using exhaust heat to save energy. Inside each cyclone stage, hot gases spin the material, transferring heat progressively, stage by stage. Preheated and ready, the raw meal enters the kiln. From here, there is no going back. This ring gear, the largest in the plant, drives the entire kiln in rotation. Extraordinary power. At the far end, a central burner pipe blasts a continuous flame deep into the kiln barrel. The burning zone reaches 1450 degrees Celsius. Let that number settle for a second. Lava from a volcano is around 1,000 degrees. This kiln is hotter than that. At 900 degrees, the limestone breaks apart, releasing CO2. This is called calcination, and it's irreversible. At 1,450 degrees, the minerals partially melt. For a moment, this powder is liquid rock. Those liquid minerals crystallize into small, hard nodules. These are called clinker, the heart of cement. Think of it like baking bread. Heat permanently transforms the ingredients. You can't unfire clinker. Clinker exits the kiln glowing orange-red at around 1,000 degrees, like something between lava and charcoal. This single nodule, glowing from residual heat within, this small lump is what becomes cement. You can't grind 1,000-degree material, so the clinker drops onto a cooler, blasted with cold air from below. From 1,000 degrees to 100 degrees in minutes, that rapid cooling locks in the clinker's chemical structure. Orange to cool gray, left to right, 900 degrees of temperature in a few meters. Cooled clinker is stored in outdoor piles or silos. Some plants stockpile weeks of production. Look at cooled clinker up close. Rough, dark, lunar. Hard to believe this becomes your building. The cooled clinker travels by belt to the cement mill, where it finally becomes gray powder. But you can't grind clinker alone. One critical ingredient must be added first: gypsum.
Without gypsum, cement sets in minutes. Gypsum slows the reaction, giving workers time to use it. Clinker and gypsum go into the cement mill, the most precise stage of the entire process. Inside, thousands of steel balls tumble continuously, grinding clinker and gypsum between them, hour after hour. And what comes out is cement, particles 10 times finer than a grain of table salt. Too coarse, weak cement. Too fine, sets too fast. Every batch is tested before it moves. Strength tests, setting time, chemistry, particle size. A batch that fails any test does not leave the plant. Finished cement travels to storage silos through pneumatic pipes, blown by compressed air, invisible but constant. Silos hold thousands of tons of finished cement, ready for tankers, trucks, or the packaging line. Most cement ships in bulk, directly into tankers, delivered to ready-mix plants around the country. The rest goes into bags, 25 or 50 kilograms, filled and sealed automatically at high speed.
Each bag fills in under 10 seconds. The machine runs continuously, hundreds of bags every hour. Robotic palletizers stack the filled bags precisely, shrink wrap the pallet, and it's ready to ship. And there it is, the gray bag you've walked past 100 times. Now you know what's inside. This entire plant runs from one control room, monitored 24 hours a day, every day, all year. Every temperature, every ratio, every speed, on screen in real time. Any drift triggers an alert. You can't turn a kiln off. Reheating from cold takes 5 days. Maintenance happens while it runs. Every shift starts with a safety briefing. The heat and pressures here make mistakes unforgivable. Workers scan the kiln shell with infrared thermometers, hunting for hot spots that signal a failing lining. Enormous bag filter systems capture almost all airborne dust before any gas exits the plant. From the air at night, lights everywhere, kilns glowing orange. This plant never sleeps. Dawn breaks. The plant has been running all night, and it will run all day. It never stops. Quick fact, cement and concrete are not the same. Cement is the powder, concrete is the mix. The Romans made cement 2,000 years ago. Some of their concrete structures are still standing today. Humans produce 4 billion tons of cement every year, half a ton for every person on Earth. Cement doesn't dry, it reacts. Water triggers hydration, generating real heat inside the hardening material. Limestone blasted from a quarry, crushed, ground to powder, fired hotter than lava. It all comes to this. The moment water touches cement, an irreversible reaction begins, locking a structure in place for centuries. Every bridge, every road, every building, held together by gray powder, the most produced material in history. Next time you cross a bridge or walk into a building, remember, rock, fire, chemistry, gray powder.